Caribou Data Science channel. It's time for me to get back to my roots, my sources of my data, my channel. That is R programming, and maybe a little Python, and maybe a little SQL, but definitely back to R programming. But of course, as you can see in front of me here now, is Doom Emacs. Okay, you may say, wait, why are we going to use Doom to write our code? Well, the simple answer is because we can, and it's always fun to find new ways to use Doom Emacs. We're also going to be using a vertical split on our windows. Okay, so we come over here, period. Let's see here. Let's see. Lives changed. Okay. Here's our basic file. Here's our starting script. You can see it's never goes window split. Oh. Okay. This isn't actually what we wanted to do. Let's try this. Let's do a quick restart here. I really wanted to do a split, a vertical split. And what we're going to do, we're going to run a shell in one side of our split, right? And we're going to use then the other side, in the shell, we're actually going to crop to a command to so let's try this. That won't work, will it? Interesting. That's not it. There we go. So now we can come over here. Okay, we can come over here. Oops. What happened there? There we go. I have no idea what's going to. So we go over here. We go. So you want to run a shell over here, okay? And that's going to be our. How do we switch windows? I'm not sure how to switch a window. Okay, the trouble with a shell is, because it's a shell, not actually a buffer, you can't use the normal switch screens. Split, scroll, switch, cursor, Control X 0, so we can do Control X 0, all right? And now you can see we're over here, okay? The first thing you want to take a look at is go back over here to our main window. Let's see, and you can see, okay, we actually only have 1 year, so 1 year is not a problem, okay? Okay, so that's not a problem, okay? So we want to come over here. Let's just say we want to plot F. We just want to do something simple like underscore line, underscore AS. Wait a second. You only have 1 year, right? So what we can do is, you got entity, but we only got 1 year, right? No, okay, well, let's come back over here then. Let's do a summary here. All right. Let's do a control Control X 0. And what we do over here is, okay, we run our Quattro command over here. Now, let's come back over XO. Let's write that. Back over here. And we're going to do lives. And we'll just use the down arrow here, right? Saved. And now we can actually watch it compile here. Oh, uh-oh. And that's why we're doing this. Let's see. Compute, okay. Come back over here for the time being. Comment this out. And run it again. Now, unfortunately, there is no clear function here, and there's no there is an up arrow, right? So let's run this again. Now what's wrong? Oh shoot, Control X O. Let's just come up here. Save that. Let's do Control X O. And let's run this again. So you can see what we're doing here. We're actually running. We're actually running Quattro and compiling our report in Emacs and edit the code in one window, run it over here. That's why Emacs is so much fun. So come over here now. We do this. Year. Okay, so there is just 1 year. Okay, good. Now we can come over here and we can look. Now here's the thing, we can drop, no, we don't, let's do something a little funky here, okay, let's do something a little more funky here. Let's come back over here. We can come up here now, do this. Come back over here. We could just say entity. Now, this is something a little funky you can actually do. What I did, I did escape and a P to paste it in there. Entity. As what? Is it factor? We'll see. I can't remember what it is in R. Is it factor? I think so. Well, actually, that. Oh, you know what we're not doing? Hang on. Let's do one more thing here. Alright, so what that'll do, I'll change all these things to lowercase, okay? Just to make it simpler. Do Control X0 to switch over to here. Run this again and see what happens. Well, summary's not going to work right, is it? Oh, geez, Dave. You can tell how rusty I am, right? Okay, good. So let's come back over here now, and let's refresh this. Okay, now this isn't very interesting here, but it's giving you a count for each one of the entities, okay? Alright. But let's say there was more than one row for each entity. There's a different number of rows for each entity. You would get the count of the number of rows for each entity here, okay? So we can leave entry, but let's drop code, because code doesn't seem to be doing anything for us. So how do we drop code? I'm going to shrink this thing down a little. Of course, as always, if you're in the background area, don't be bashful. Stop by and say hi. Give me a subscribe and a like. I'd really appreciate it. Now, there is a way to shrink this. Okay. Select. Since we're only doing one thing, we're going to say date, code. All right. Then do this. OXO. Let's just run this again. That's interesting. Not quite sure what that's doing. That's interesting, isn't it? Why isn't that working now? Quattro, let's come back over here then. You know what? It's acting as if it restarted a shell. Render. Okay. Let's look at this again. So now we could even drop year, right? Because we're not going to use the year. So let's just drop year also. This is only 1 year, okay? And again, because I'm using Doom Emacs, that means what? That means I have to use you know what? Let's leave year there for right now. Let's come back over here. Let's try to create a quick plot. df. Let's just try something here. What happens to come over here? And we do a call. Then in here we say equals. X equals entity, right? Comma y equals what? Let's just try diphtheria. 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 So we should have continents on the bottom, and let's see if this will work. Oh shoot. Oh, you know what the trouble is? We need two things over here. Well, come. I know someone's out there in TV land watching a little bit, okay? Okay, so there we got our basic plot, okay? And this, of course, this is numbers here, okay? And there is a way to do that, but anyway. But let's start with something more simple then. Let's say we actually wanted to flip it. So we have the continents on the we have the continents on the y-axis. We could do, there's two ways. You can do it the easy way by simply switching the x and y's, right? Or you can also, is that what it is? Honestly, I'm not sure if that's what the command is. This is what we got ChatGPT. Oh wow, it may have actually worked. And then we got a consonant flip. Let's do this now. Now it's time to bring ChatGPT into action here. To bring Gemini AI into action. Okay. So we're going to say, how do you do this? A single. Let's see if that works. Yeah. So I copied from the Emacs into the browser using the Y, which is a copy command. Okay, yeah, so there we go, the reorder function. So let's come up here. Let's just delete these two here. Let's do Let's do a nice copy over here. And there's that. Okay, good. So this is deaths from diphtheria in these so this is what live so this is live saved. I got some thunder rolling in here, it looks like. Oh, suppose we want to reorder it reversed. What we can do, we can get rid of descending there, right? Let's try that. Let's try getting rid of descending. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's just get rid of this. And we could say, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try this. 6dd. Now let's come back over here. And let's just copy this. Now come. I know some of you people are in the background there, so just don't be bashful. Copy that. So this should give us ascending there. So what do you think about this split window thing here? You know, writing the code in one side and running the other column. So let's call that a wrap for right there, okay? Now, but the trouble is what we actually want. We actually want to have all the diseases displayed as part of these bar plots, okay? All these displayed as sort of. So what are we going to do? We're going to use another function called using the pivot longer function, okay? All right. Now let's do some. Shoot. The trouble is, I hit it 3 times, right? Let's do this. Let's come up here. Let's do a 3. This will allow us to copy some things down, okay? See what I'm saying? Let's come back over here. and copy this. Alright, pivot longer. We can come up here and do this. Alright, columns. Okay, so our columns are going to be our diseases. Okay. Okay, good. So we're going to say cause so our columns are going to be diphtheria, because we want one row for each disease for each continent. Okay? Then we use that. By the way, this type of first last function also works with the select command, by the way. So what happened up here? Tetanus. So we're going to try this. We're going to try disease. D-E-S, D-I-S, E-A-S-C. And this should be, okay, will this work? Okay, so it probably doesn't like unexpected symbol. unexpected symbol. I probably need a comma after everything. Oh, very good. Come back over here. Let's see how our pivot longer function works. We got our plot. Okay, so now we got one row. That didn't work, did it? Wait. We don't need that right there, do we? Dave, Control XO. If this works, what it'll give us the ability to do, it'll give us the ability to make like stack, to plot all the data on a single chart. It'll give us the ability to do like stock chart. And it'll also give us the ability to create individual plots using the facet wrap function, okay? Come back over here now. Let's do this. Let's come back up here. And let's comment out this, since we already know what's there, right? Control XO. Oh, it said it was something said it was something running there, didn't it? I've saved. Oh, you know what the trouble is? We didn't do a render. No wonder it didn't recognize it. Look, you guys have got to start. So we are getting command completion. You guys have got to keep an eye on this for me here. Still not working right. where is this is in columns, right? You want one row for each entity So I want columns to be the entity, I think. Names to let's do this. Okay. What did it? Okay. And each disease, and each year. Oh, this is interesting. It just opened up full screen, didn't it? Columns, entity, year. Let's try it. You know what I bet? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't think this is going to work either, but we'll see. This should have been a real. This should have been a very simple. This should have been a very simple script. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to work either, but we'll see. But we'll see. What this really means is that Gemini isn't quite up to ChatGPT standard right yet. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Okay. So now we could, for instance, well, let's just create a plot, right? Let's just go ahead and see what we can do very quickly. Okay. So that works. Dot df lives save long. Okay. Underscore let's just try something a bit trickier. Shall we save? Well, a line plot doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Oh, we could say, let's just do this for the fun of it. Well, no, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay. Let's do a column plot. If this works, we're going to call it a night. So, what do we have here? X is going to be the Z's, right? X is going to be disease. Comma. Y is going to be alright. Let's try this. Equals entity. This may not work, but we'll see. Let's do a group first. Let's come back over here. Let's drop this down. Let's drop this down. Let's do insert equals entity, comma, fill entity. I didn't spell entity right. So what this could do is it could wind up with a stack bar plot, but we'll see. This looks vaguely promising, doesn't it? Is it calls? You know what the trouble is? It's I misspelled geome. Oh, and if this works, I may actually call it a night. So this is the disease, but we need to rotate the code. Okay. Okay. And we could, of course, reverse these, right? We could, in fact, have diseases and continents, but that's okay. That's a subject for a different matter. So what do you think about using Emacs to do our programming with, huh? What do you think about this? Here we go. So what this means is uh, the biggest stride in terms of lives saved is measles, followed by tetanus. Okay? And there you have it, my friends. All right, and that, my dear friends, is going to be it for this evening. You know, it's good to jump back into a little bit of our programming anymore. You know, so that does conclude this session for this evening. We'll pick up maybe I'm planning on more programming, hopefully a little shorter. We'll pick up at the same data set maybe tomorrow night or Saturday or Sunday night, and do more with the facet wrap and the pivot longer and stuff like that. We can certainly reverse the numbers here so that we have entity on the x-axis, and disease is the grouping factor. Okay, but anyway, there's a hint for what's coming up next. So we use Emacs with a split screen and a shell to write and run to render Quattro documents. Okay.